thirst is a stone in the throat. It is a sun that bakes the mind from the inside out. For the people of the Red Earth, a small, resilient clan of Homo habilis, it has become the only reality. The river is a ghost of cracked mud. The seasonal waterholes are pits of dust, and the sky is a vast, empty bowl of blue heat. They are walking skeletons, their movements slow and deliberate, conserving the last dregs of moisture in their bodies. The children no longer cry. They do not have the water to make tears. Gor, their leader, feels the desperation of his people as a physical weight on his own stooped shoulders. His hands, the clever hands that gave his kind their name, can flake a stone to a sharp edge, but they cannot conjure water from the barren earth. But there is one last hope, an old memory, a place of last resort, the well of the ancestors, a deep, sheer-sided sinkhole that has never, in the memory of the elders, run dry. It is a dangerous place. Its steep walls a treacherous climb, but its dark, cool depths have always held the gift of life. He leads his people on a final, desperate march, following the faint, almost imperceptible scent of damp earth on the hot wind. They find it at dusk, a great circular moor in the earth, plunging 100 feet down to a pool of black, still water. The sight of it, the promise of it, is enough to make the clan cry out, a collective, rasping sound of pure relief. Salvation is here. It is real. They stumble to the edge, their eyes fixed on the pool below, and then they see that their heaven has become a hell. The well is not empty, it has been claimed. The residents of the sinkhole are a troop of Dinopithecus, giant baboons the size of a grown man, with sloping shoulders of immense power and canine teeth as long as a leopard's claw. They are a fortress of muscle and aggression, and this sinkhole is now their keep, a colossal alpha male. His fur, a mantle of dark grey, sits on a ledge just above the water, his deep-set, intelligent eyes watching the thirsty hominids arrive. He is not afraid, he is annoyed. He bares his teeth in a slow, deliberate gesture. A flash of white in the gloom. It is not a threat, it is a statement of ownership. Gor knows he cannot leave. Thirst is a more certain death than any beast. He makes a desperate calculation. A direct fight is impossible, but a raid, a frantic dash for a few gourds of water, might work. He chooses 3 of his fastest males. The plan is simple, suicidal, and their only option: climb down the ancient handholds on the cliff face, fill the gourds, and get out before the troop can react. It is a catastrophic failure. The moment their feet touch the first ledge, the alpha lets out a deafening, booming bark that echoes like thunder in the sinkhole. The troop moves as one. A wave of screeching, charging fury. They are not just animals, they are an organized, territorial army. They swarm the climbers, their teeth and claws a blur of motion. One of Gor's hunters is pulled from the cliff and vanishes under a tide of grey fur. His screams are short, sharp, and then abruptly silent. The other to scramble back up, bleeding from a dozen wounds, their gourds lost. The clan drags them away from the edge, their brief flicker of hope extinguished, replaced by the cold, hard certainty of their doom. The alpha baboon, his dominance asserted, calmly descends to the water's edge, dips his great head, and drinks deeply, his cold eyes never leaving the defeated, thirsty people at the rim. If you have ever been shown the very thing you need to live, only to be denied it by a power you cannot fight, then you are standing at the edge of this well, the scent of water torturing your senses, the taste of your own death on your tongue. Despair is a quiet poison. It seeps into the spaces between the clan, silencing the children, slowing the hands of the women, and hollowing out the eyes of the hunters. They huddle a safe distance from the sinkhole's edge, defeated. The scent of the water below is a constant, tortuous reminder of their failure. Gor sits apart, the stone flakes for a new axe lying untouched at his feet. His strength, his skill at violence, all are useless against this problem. The baboons have built a fortress he cannot breach. To fight them is to die. To flee is to die of thirst in the endless, baked landscape. It is a perfect trap. The silence is broken by a soft, rasping sound. It is Elka, the oldest of the clan's women, her back bent, like a question mark, her hands gnarled and twisted by a lifetime of work. She is not idle, her fingers, though slow, move with an ancient, practiced rhythm, weaving a thin cord from the fibrous bark of a drought-stunted tree. It is a pointless, domestic act in the face of their extinction. and some of the younger members watch her with a dull, listless pity. But Gioa watches her with a flicker of curiosity. Elka is a weaver. Her mind does not think in terms of spears and rocks, but in terms of knots and nets, of things that hold and carry. She finishes a length of cord, tests its strength, and then begins to tie it to the handle of an empty gourd. She says nothing. She simply works. Then she crawls to the very edge of the sinkhole, the place of their defeat, and lowers the gourd over the side. It dangles, spinning, 50 feet above the water. A pathetic, useless gesture, but it is not a gesture, it is a question. She looks at Gor, her eyes, clouded with age, holding a spark of radical intelligence. The problem is not the distance, the problem is the length of their arms. And in that moment, Gor understands. He is a maker of tools, a master of the tangible. He has been trying to solve a problem of distance with the tools of proximity. Elka, the weaver, has shown him a new way. They will not go to the water. They will bring the water to them. A new energy electrifies the clan. It is the raw, powerful energy of a new idea. Gor rises, his despair burned away by the heat of inspiration. He gathers the clan and, using gestures and marks in the dust, he explains Elka's vision, expanded and made real by his own practical mind. They will weave a rope, not just a rope, but a chain, a long, articulated spine of woven vines. From this spine, they will hang nets, and in the nets, they will place the gourds. They will build a machine to steal the water from the teeth of the ape. It is a monumental task for a people on the verge of collapse from dehydration. It requires the total mobilization of their collective strength. This is the essence of community. Gioa sends the strongest males on a perilous journey to the skeletal forest to gather the toughest, longest vines. A journey that takes them through territory now stalked by a new predator drawn to the Welali. Powerful Afrobenita, whose tracks had been seen near the sinkhole. The women, led by Elka, begin the painstaking work of weaving their cracked, dehydrated fingers, twisting and knotting the fibers into a long, ugly, beautiful chain. The children, too weak to work, are tasked with watching the baboons, whose intelligent eyes watch their work with a mixture of curiosity and rising agitation. This complex assembly of woven fiber and gourds is the most advanced their people have ever conceived, a testament to the desperate, brilliant minds of these human ancestors. They are no longer just using tools, they are building a system. The machine is a clumsy, magnificent thing. It is 50 feet of braided, knotted vine, as thick as Goar's all, with a dozen woven gourd baskets hanging from it at regular intervals. It is heavy, unwieldy, and the greatest act of collective hope their people have ever produced. They are all weaker now, their lips cracked, their movements slow and dreamlike from the lack of water, but their eyes, as they haul their creation to the edge of the sinkhole, burn with a feverish, focused intensity. This is their last chance. There will not be another. The baboons below have been watching their strange weaving with growing suspicion. The alpha male sits on his ledge, a dark and powerful king, and lets out a series of short, questioning barks. He knows something is happening, a change in the behavior of the pathetic, thirsty creatures above. But he cannot comprehend its nature. His mind, as sharp as it is bound by the logic of direct confrontation, of tooth and claw. The concept of a machine is beyond its horizon. Gor directs the deployment. It takes 10 of the strongest males, their feet braced against the rocks at the rim, to control the great vine rope. Elka stands beside them, her old frail hands guiding the first section over the edge. The chain of gourds begins its slow, swaying descent into the well. The baboons erupt in a chorus of agitated, angry screeches. This is an intrusion, a violation of their territory. A few of the younger males begin to climb the cliff face, but the alpha barks a sharp command, and they retreat. He is cautious. He does not understand this strange, dangling serpent, and he will not risk his warriors against an unknown threat. The lowest gourd finally touches the water. A soft, beautiful splash echoes up from the depths, the most wonderful sound the clan has heard in days. Now comes the hardest part. The clan must pull, a coordinated rhythmic heave, to bring the now heavy chain back up. Gor bellows a command, his voice a dry, cracking sound. Heave, they pull as one, their feet slipping on the loose rock. Their muscles, starved of water, screaming in protest. The rope is impossibly heavy. The first filled gourd appears over the lip of the well, its woven basket dripping precious, life-giving water. The sight of it, the reality of it, breaks the baboon's caution. The alpha roars in pure, territorial fury and charges up the cliff face, his massive form moving with terrifying speed. He is coming to destroy their salvation. But Geo or Undelka anticipated this. A second group of hominids, armed with a stockpile of heavy stones, has been waiting. As the alpha climbs, they unleash a barrage. It is not designed to kill, but to deter. Rocks rain down around the climbing baboon, crashing into the cliff face, forcing him to halt his ascent and cling to the rock, roaring in frustration. The distraction works. The first gourds are pulled clear, the clan members not hauling the rope descend on them, their hands cupping the spilled water, pressing their faces to the damp gourds, their first taste of moisture in what feels like a lifetime. The effect is instantaneous. A jolt of life, of strength, flows back into them. Their second heave on the rope is stronger, more confident. They have done it. They have done it. Their radical active toulouse, a hallmark of human evolution, has succeeded. They have bypassed the brute force of the baboons, not with greater force, but with a leap of imagination. They have defeated a fortress not by breaking down its walls, but by inventing a way to fly over them. They do not take all of what they need, a silent, pragmatic acknowledgement of the new order they have created. They leave the well to the baboons, its guardians of tooth and claw, but the water is now theirs to access, a resource won not through conquest but through ingenuity. The machine, a clumsy, ugly thing of vines and gourds, is left coiled at the sinkhole's rim, a testament to their victory and a symbol of a profound shift in their way of life. This moment marks the birth of engineering, the first time our ancestors deliberately reshaped their world not by chipping a stone, but by assembling a complex system to solve a problem they could not punch their way through. It is a victory for the weaver, the thinker, and the planner over the warrior. This event, lost to the deep archives of prehistory, is a quiet but monumental step in our species' journey. It is a declaration that the future will belong not to the strongest jaw or the sharpest claw, but to the mind that can see a rope in a vine, a bucket in a gourd, and a lifeline in a shared, desperate idea. They prove that the greatest tool a hominid can wield is another hominid. The greatest walls are not broken down, they are rendered irrelevant. But what happens when the machine breaks?